Hey guys, I'm Tyler Kopstock and welcome to my channel. I represent Frontline Academy and I'm a student under Eduardo Teta Rios. I'm a full-time Jiu-Jitsu athlete and instructor, and I created this page to share my techniques, training, and Jiu-Jitsu journey with you. Feel free to like and subscribe, and welcome to the family. Us.
Hey guys, this is Christian and welcome to the intermediate class. Today we're going to do some S-mount setup and most likely finish there as well, depending on what this guy has in store for us.
So I forgot my belt today, and as you can see, this really does boost his ego, but yeah, we'll go further. So here we're going to start from the mount position, and if you haven't seen the beginner's course, you can go and watch that. We posted earlier this week. But nice and easy here. I transitioned to mount. I got into this position, and now we're going to start working with the isolation like we did in the beginner's course, okay? For some reason, I do the opposite side for this one. So what I'm going to do here is basically start isolating his arm, right? Like I talked about in the beginner's course, we're going to move this arm up until it's passed right on top of his forehead, and now I'm going to move my head tight here, okay? So once I've come to this position here, I'm starting to work my way up towards his arm here, okay? So I'm going to slide this knee all the way up so that's almost at the same line as his head, okay? So once I'm here, I'm still controlling Christian's head here, right? I don't want to let go because now it's still going to be a lot of space here to move, but I want to keep him tight to me, okay? This time, I'm going to let go of his armpit. I'm going to slide my hands. So I'm just cupping the back of his neck. I'm still staying tight here, right? And I'm lifting his neck up towards me. So once I'm here, this, or even better, if I can get this foot underneath his shoulder here, I'm in the S mount, okay? So coming from this position, I'm going to bring my knee up and come here, okay, into the S-mount position. And the thing here is that this allows me to set up a couple of different attacks, and most of all, armbar, right? So that's where we're gonna go to today. And the thing here is I'm putting my weight on top of the guy the whole time, right? Only when I've lifted this leg over his head, that's when I'm gonna fall backwards, okay? So a lot of the times people have a tendency to fall back and then try to throw the leg over, right? The trick here is to put all your weight on top of the guy, bring the other leg over, and then fall back, okay? So watch one more time here. We're gonna be tight, lift the knee, and a trick here for some of you guys who feel like you're not flexible enough to just bring the leg up like this, try not to stretch so that you're really pointing this leg out, and then you can bring it in, okay? So if you can stretch this leg, you don't have to be flexible. You can just stretch it out and then bring it in once you've chopped your heel in towards you, okay? You want to lift him tight here. If you want, you can now start to change the grips. I like to go with this arm under and in through the arm here, okay? You can grab my own collar. You could grab your chest depending on what's available. And also, I've just put my weight on top of him so you can easily transition this leg over, okay? If you feel like it, you could finish the armbar and still stay on top like this, okay? That would probably be the less risky variation when it comes to losing position on top, right? But here, you can finish it, but you could also fall back and finish it here, okay? Wow. So, same thing as before. Into the armbar, fall back into the armbar, okay? If you feel like you're struggling to finish the armbar, make sure that you're always tight to the guy, right? And like we say, thumb up or thumb away from my chest. I also like to bring my top hand, so I have one hand pulling down, but I have a hand coming from above. And this way I get a lot of pressure on the joint. So I also try to pinch my knees as much as possible. This way his shoulder gets really stuck as well, okay? So we're gonna go a little bit through some breaking grips after this. Okay, guys, so a lot of the times when we go for the armbar, naturally the guy will start to defend, right? That's why we do jiu-jitsu. It's not to always win, but to also have a defending opponent, I guess. So we got into the armbar here all the way, and this time he's doing a great job with cupping his arm like this, like a rear naked choke kind of grip. And from this position, there's one way I can do work. Of course, we're gonna start with this very simple variation here. So I'm here, I'm gonna grab my own lapel here, okay? This way I'm connecting his elbow tight to my chest, and I'm always gonna be able to pull a little bit, right? This also gives me a free arm, okay? So having a free arm will help me remove the other hand here, okay? So I can now pull his elbow to me. This creates a little bit of a different angle for his hand here, okay? If you think about it, his grip is always right over his bicep. If I change the angle of his bicep, then suddenly his hand will slip a little bit as well. So there, I can pull and then start to pull. If this is not enough, and it will happen, a lot of times this won't be enough for me to pull his arm out, then I can also put my hand, instead of on the outside here, I'm going to put it on the inside and then push away, okay? So this is a very simple way of breaking the grip just to get the armbar, okay? But we're going to get a little bit fancy here. So now I'm going to do a little bit of a twisting motion for his shoulder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this hand here, the hand on the same side as his head, through here, okay? I can grab my collar. I can just try to establish first if you feel like he's moving too much. But when you see the moment, I'm going to look to bring this forearm here behind his elbow, okay? So I'm going to connect my hands here. So watch how this hand goes through. This arm is blocking on the front side here. Boom, and I'm trying to collapse my hands together, okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm going to twist. So I'm opening his arm here. By collapsing my hands together, I'm able to do this motion where I can really break a lot of good grips here, okay? So once I have this, I can turn and then straighten out and go for the armbar again. Of course, it comes with a little bit of patience. Sometimes you're gonna go for more of this attacks. You're gonna try to work here, right? But then it doesn't work. Then you can try to switch and then switch for the armbar like this, okay? So you have to see different solutions depending on how he's gripping. If you're just grabbing hand to hand, let's say, this is more, this is probably easier to defend a lot of the times, because if you can't get your heel on his bicep, most likely you're gonna be able to break the grip. But sometimes he's smart, he hides his elbow underneath my leg, then I have to kind of use the top leg maybe. Maybe I have to try to sneak in the heel again. There's a couple ways to start working from there, okay? So nice and easy, different variations depending on what your opponent gives you, but these are pretty solid. Oos. Like and subscribe, guys, please. Please. Hey guys, welcome to the intermediate class. And today we're going to go through some S-mounts. So we're going to start attacking from some of the positions we did earlier this week in the beginner's course. So if you didn't check that out, go and check that out. So Christian here on bottom. And we're going to start by isolating the head and arm here. Nice and easy. Like this. I'm going to bring the arm up. And now I'm getting tight here. Okay? So once I'm here, I'm gonna bring this knee all the way up, almost at the same height as his head here, okay? Like this, okay? So when I do this, I can let go of his shoulder, grab the back of his neck, and still pull him a little bit up towards me. This way I can keep a tight control all the way, right? Now watch this leg here. I'm gonna bring my heel out, and I'm gonna point my heel in here. Most likely, if he's if he's grabbing his own hand, which is very natural, or just controlling so that they don't feel like they're being attacked, I can then just bring my heel under his shoulder here, which is a very nice way to control, okay? So once I'm here, I can start looking to go through with my arm here and then start setting up the armbar, right? So this position here itself is called the S mount, right? Because my legs looks like an S, basically. So here, I can set up the armbar, I can set up a couple of different things, but it's usually the hardest part is getting to the position. So here, isolating, head, I bring my knee high, I can pull him up, and then bring my heel under his elbow here, okay? Watch how my weight is on top of Christian here, and it's not on the floor, okay? This way, it's gonna be very easy for him to escape, so I have to have my weight on top of him, okay? Also, when my weight is on top of him, this allows me to move this leg a lot easier, okay? I see this a lot in the beginners, is when you fall back and then you try to throw the leg over. It's kind of too late, and most likely if he knows how to defend, he's gonna defend this one for sure, okay? So, one more time. Coming up to the S mount, this time I'm going for the arm, but now I'm gonna throw the leg over while I'm still sitting on top of him, okay? So, from this position, watch how I'm posting on the floor, I can still just finish while I'm sitting on top of him, okay? This is perfect. Of course, most likely, I will fall back and then have to finish from this normal armbar or classic armbar position, okay? Once you're here, you just grab on top of the thumb or like underneath the thumb here, the joint. So now you're gonna bring it tight to you. I always like to bring the other hand on top to even get more leverage, right? Squeezing the knees together, and this is pretty basic. But we're gonna go through a little bit more advanced stuff later on. So here, isolating the arm, head down, control. I'm gonna use this hand actively to help myself bring this knee up, here, pull him up, and now I can start working for the arm, okay? Here, I'm gonna stay tight on top of him so I can bring my leg over his head here, nice and easy, okay? Now I can either finish from this position or I can fall back and start working here, okay? And then we're gonna start working a little bit on how to open this up if he defends, right? Os. Cobra Kai. Okay, guys, so we're gonna go a little bit further here when Christian starts defending the armbar. So, same position here. We can just start from the mount. I started working here. I went for the S mount, and then I started working for his arm, okay? A lot of the times, this is a very classic way to defend, where he goes for the rear naked choke kind of hold, and he grabs the back of my thigh here, right? This can be very irritating. It can make it difficult for me to pull his arm out. And so we're gonna go very basic first. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to remove this grip on his bicep, okay? To do this, I'm first gonna pull his elbow to me, okay? Remember now, I'm keeping this arm tight to my body. At no point am I creating space. This is gonna allow him to escape. So I wanna be tight so that there's no place or no room to escape here, okay? So now I'm gonna bring this other arm also tight to me, okay? Sometimes his hand might slip, right, from just this. But most likely, if he knows how to defend, this is not gonna be enough. But I create a little bit on an angle when I pull here, right? So now I'm gonna use this hand to slide over his elbow and push from the inside out, okay? So from here, and then push, okay? So it's a little bit, it's not just about pushing straight away, it's about pulling and then pushing, okay? So I want to really open up his grip first. So I'm pulling, then pushing, and then working my arm almost like a, kind of like a S movement here down, and now I can get into the armbar position, right? Now, this can work a lot of the times if I just do this, right? Sometimes it's not gonna be enough. Let's say the guy is strong or he knows his way around the armbar and he's really good at defending it, right? So now we're gonna do a little bit more of a fancy setup where I'm gonna switch the arm that's inside. So I'm gonna go with this arm in all the way through and come out to the other side here, okay? Make sure that you're always staying tight before you go for this, right? So if you feel he's moving a lot, then maybe you should wait a couple of seconds before you proceed. to go for this, right? So now I'm gonna bring my forearm. So watch, my left arm is going in through his arm here, and my right arm is gonna now come on the outside, and I'm pressing my forearm on his elbow here, okay? I'm gonna clasp my hands together. So I'm creating a strong grip here, but I'm also now being able to twist his arm out, okay? So this is my arms, right? And his arm is in between. So I'm basically twisting and straightening his arm out like this. So here, here, and out, okay? As soon as we've gotten to this point where he has no grips anymore, I can just switch for the regular armbar and then finish there, right? So usually I'm here with this arm first, so I will have to switch and now set up this kind of finish, right? So again, this arm goes through, this forearm goes on the outside of his elbow. I'm gonna twist his arm out. Some people are gonna feel like this is almost like a submission, especially if they resist a lot. And here, I'm just gonna straighten the arm out and then finish. Right, so now we have at least 2 different variations. There is some more depending on how the guy grips. Some guys are gonna grip just with their hands like this, then you can kick on their bicep. There's a couple of things that you can do depending on how the guy is defending, right? Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you guys next time. We'll